All right, everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Just Noise podcast. As always, I'm joined with my partner in crime, Logan Purdue. Logan, how we doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good, man. It's been a long week.
Minus the sinus infection?
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, the weather's outside is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
I hope that brings you back a little bit, and hopefully that's not setting you back. But anyway, really excited for our episode tonight. We are joined by a longtime metal vocalist that I'm a huge fan of. 16-year-old Brandon would be beyond excited to be told in the future, hey, you're going to talk to this guy at some point. Anyway, welcome Alex Huffman from the illustrious Sea of Treachery and also Empire Andromeda. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Never got the Empire Andromeda welcome, but I'm doing good. It's been a good day.
Excellent. Well, I heard that you were doing some golfing yesterday, and it's like I said, it's been beautiful. So I hope you came under par. Went good for you.
Not under par, but good for me. I shot a 77. I have to play in an outing tomorrow with our drummer.
Oh hell yeah! Let's go.
Yeah, it's his real estate agency's golf outing. So I'm the ringer, I guess.
That's what I was gonna say. You better win.
We'll see.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for joining us again, my friend. If you want to start off, as we always do with Just Noise, give us a little bit about your early life, your upbringing, and what brought you to music, and then we can explore individual music releases from there. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I was born in a town called Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is just right across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky, and got into like alternative grunge music in the probably mid '90s. And was obsessed with it. Like I feel so old because I'm like going generations of technology back right now. So I'm not even talking about burning CDs, but I used to tape songs on cassettes off of the radio. And
then duplicate them.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't bootlegging. I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear them. But honestly, before I got really into metal, I got into like punk rock. And moved to Northern Kentucky, which is right across from Cincinnati. The Cincinnati airport's actually in Kentucky. Moved up here when I was 12, and kind of kept going. I learned like HTML and stuff to make like Pokemon websites, and that accidentally became a very, very useful skill. A few years later, I started a public access cable show where I would interview bands and film them and stuff when I was like 14.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's
really cool.
Like that was really cool. Yeah.
I got to do like the coolest stuff. Like I interviewed bands like Coheed and Cambria and Thrice and Poison the Well and Thursday and Yellow Card and like became friends with those bands, and I was like this little kid, but I was just so dorky and like knowledgeable. They were like, what's happening? Like I was the first person to ever interview Avenged Sevenfold on video.
Dude,
that's pretty cool.
And they were like geeking out about it, and I was like, dude, 5 people are gonna watch this. Like, don't.
No, that's so cool because you relocated to California, right? So that's where all that happened.
No, that was here. Like,
that's even cooler. Fuck yeah, dude.
I had like press credentials at Warped Tour and at Bogarts in Cincinnati. No, this is all like I'm a teenager, so I'm still in the Cincinnati area. And eventually, I was like, well, enough people are following this, and this is even pre-MySpace. Mm-hmm. This would have been like 2001, probably. I was like, oh, I should do a show based on my show, and I did a fest of bands that I'd featured on the show, and brought in like a bunch of bands, and I was like, I really like the music business, and did it the first year and had a couple cool bands. I had a band on Fearless called Brazil that was like this weird like jazzy math rock band from Indianapolis area, and then the next year I booked a band from Chicago called Fallout Boy.
If you've heard of them, that's awesome.
For $500.
Oh shit! Never again.
Yeah. And I just kind of took off from there. I pretended to play bass and guitar at the time, and just kind of was along for the ride. And then I'm sure what your next question will be kind of leads into kind of the next chapter, so to speak.
Well, that was actually something that I didn't expect, so that was super cool to hear about. Especially, like I said, to my knowledge, you were based out of California, but that's super cool to hear about anything before that, and that really set the tone for a lot of other things in my mind that happened for you. That was awesome. So, just in general, I know that it sounded like you were really inspired by Poison the Well, and initially, not trying to piggyback off God damn it, I cannot talk. Piggyback after Sin, but it sounds like you were playing guitar lead, and then you decided you wanted to pick up on vocals because of Poison the Well specifically.
I don't know if I wanted to pick up vocals more than I didn't want to play guitar.
But you were thrust upon it because you were good. Yeah,
well, and I wasn't good yet, and I'm still working on it. But it was challenging because we had a front man. We played one show with him, and I had to write all the lyrics and come up with the patterns, and I'd never done that in my life. And I never tried to just do it myself, but I was like, this is frustrating as hell because I'm trying to figure out how to play guitar and manage this band and do this, which I was in high school, like who cares? But it was just an accident, really. Like I was in the car with Corey, who was the other guitar player at the time, and he was in the band until 2008. I just started screaming, and he just looks at me like, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do that now. So it was never like an intentional thing. I was always into literature and history and writing and stuff, and I just kind of eventually put two and two together and kind of made that work.
That's really cool.
On the first release that you guys did, that EP, Black Hearts and Burial Shrouds, sorry, I got my sheet in front of me because I don't want to mess anything up. Were you playing guitar on that one, or were you doing vocals on that one? Because I know that we talked about how it was kind of scrubbed from the internet. So within reason, I would love as much information as we can get from you. So
I wouldn't say it was scrubbed. We just never, like, streaming didn't exist. You know, YouTube was a year old at the time. Like, we didn't, understand the utility of it. I mean, we had the songs on our MySpace page, which is what you did at the time. And, it was funny. I've always been a plan now and prepare later guy with the band because that's how things seem to get done. I booked studio time with this guy that just had like an open ad on MySpace. His name was Joey, and he lived about an hour away in Indiana, and he'd never recorded a band that paid him. So we did that EP for $100 and spent a day or two in Connorsville and did that EP and got it back and, did a couple shows. And, we, by the time, like, we got the masters back, we'd already written new songs. So we're like, hey, can we come back? He's like, yep, same price. Let's keep trucking. And we did that. And then we did like a spring demo in 2006, I want to say.
And that's the All Hope Is Lost one?
No, Discogs and stuff have these titles for stuff.
Sorry.
They weren't like real things. Like, if it had a title, it's because I came up with something and wrote it on like a CDR that we were selling for $2 at our merch table that had like one shirt and that. So I have recently, in the last year, actually gotten the files of those songs. I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do with them at this point because we own the rights to all of our music, which is super cool. But I don't want to just throw them out and not make a big deal about it. So I'm waiting for maybe an anniversary or something and have them be like bonus tracks on I don't know.
Well, I could mention a specific revival label later on we could talk about. That doesn't have to be on here, but that would be super cool. My main thing, I'm curious, because I'm just curious. So on the two EPs, were any of these tracks revisited on the full length, or were they just completely independent tracks? And also, who was in the lineup at that time if it wasn't too tumultuous?
It was fairly in and out. It wasn't like sour grapes or anything, but it was kind of everybody was graduating high school or going off to college kind of stuff. The first demo, I believe a guy named Justin was still playing bass, but I don't even know if he tracked it. It would have been myself, Corey Knight on guitar.
And he was
Corey
with you
Baker on
consistently,
drums.
right? Corey Knight was with you consistently.
He was with us until the end of kind of the Sumerian era. Corey Baker, who was out before we were signed. I don't know. I know Jordan Reinhardt joined later that year as second guitar, but I'm not sure if he was on any of the EPs. And we eventually added on bass.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
There's been like 30 people in this band. It's fucking Spinal Tap. Corey Howe, we added on bass. I don't know if it was before the second EP or not, but there are people like on Wikipedia and stuff that I've never heard of in my life. So, to give you an idea,
well, that makes more sense with like the demos and stuff we're talking about in terms of where that doesn't exist.
I mean, this shit's 20 years ago, and it was people that like add themselves to our Wikipedia, or like we tried them out, or they played one show as a fill-in, and somehow
I was
they
in
end
Sea
up
of
there.
Treachery or a Dagger's Drawn. Yeah.
So basically, like, we rifled through that and kind of just grew as a local band. And that was back in the day where you kind of be a regional band. So, and we were very blessed with like the confluence of factors that we lived near like Dayton and Indianapolis and Lexington, because there were bands at the same time coming up in those places. So like in Lexington, there was Court Sensor Cages, which became Emma Rosa. Indianapolis, there was Gwen Stacy. In Dayton, in Dayton there was, Prada, a lot of those early Rise bands, not early, but like those Rise kind of era bands, and we would just trade shows, and we'd play these fests, or we'd play in a fucking park, like.
That's cool.
It was the Wild
That's
West, and basically we just kept writing and recording and writing and recording and writing and recording for like a year, and then we recorded the first Eulogy, which was our first full length when we were still at Daggers Drawn in like June and July of 2006 with Joey. We paid him $1,000 for the whole album. Yep, that one.
Sorry to hit you mid-story, but I can't get a good. I've got it signed by all of you guys. I wasn't there. I was in 6th grade, but I bought it from somebody, and it's signed by all 3 Coreys and the recording lineup. Sorry, continue.
Go outside, nerd.
Touch grass. I have no room to talk.
No, but so we recorded it, and I put it out on my own label. Like I would at an apartment. I was in college at the time at Louisville, and it changed my life, man. Like we put it out, and what was really, really frustrating is I had reached out to every label that I could think of with like, and I sent them purging. I was like, I'm sending everybody purging. Like, here's a taste. Pay for this, and nothing. Radio silence. And then like right after I had ordered 2,000 CDs and done all the art myself and all this stuff, a couple labels were like, "Hey, what's up with this album?" I'm like, "It's already fucking out, dude. Like, what do you want?" Like,
we want it though.
Yeah. Well, eventually that happened. About a year later. But yeah, so I mean, we put it out, and then we were kind of just done with it, because I was going to school full time, and the lineup kind of just dissolved at that point, like the original at Daggers Drawn lineup. And in 2007, a man named Jerry Clubb hit me up. He was like, "Hey, my name is Jerry. I'm really busy right now. But I accidentally downloaded your album, and I fucking love it."
Accidentally.
He's like, yeah. He was trying to download, I can't remember, I think he was trying to download like an As I Lay Dying album, and Ed Daggers Drawn was right below it. but he managed at the time he managed Suicide Silence, Wins the Plague, and Abigail Williams. And he was like, I don't really have the time to take on another band, but like, please let me know if you guys need any help because I want to, I love what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? And like 2 weeks later, he's like, I can't stop listening to your band. I'm gonna hire an assistant so I can manage you. And that was kind of the beginning of real things.
Yeah. So then you guys got signed to Sumerian from there. That was your in. That's super cool.
God damn it. Oh, going back to your I wanted to ask, like, what was it like to work with Joey Sturgis and stuff back then? Because, like, I don't know, I kind of grew up in that time. Like, I'm 34, so I kind of, MySpace is like a big thing in my time. So, like, he was
this
prominent.
the pre-mansion?
This is oh, dude, so pre-mansion. It was in his parents' fucking garage with no bathroom. We peed in fucking jugs, dude. And it was like just far enough to where we didn't want to drive home after. So like literally we just, at the time, I'm pretty sure Joey's quit smoking since. I unfortunately haven't. But we would just drink 1 billion coffees and smoke every cigarette in the world in the control room. And just track until like 4 a.m. And like we did the whole first record in like 6 days.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Dude's a fucking machine. Like,
yeah. Well, don't sell yourself short either. You guys are awesome. So
thank you. But it was especially back then. I will give him a lot of the credit. I mean, he made a lot of bands a lot of money. And now obviously he's doing pretty well for himself, and I love him. Great dude. Always took care of us. Very methodical. It was really cool to like learn our craft as he was learning his. Because we were the first band. Yeah,
guinea pig.
Yeah, because he recorded his own band and like friends and stuff like locally, and honestly at the time those bands were all better than us. Like our demos are not good. Like I will clarify. Like I really want to diminish the expectations you have of these things, but he took the time to help us make our songs better, and he was also figuring out like how to actually produce instead of just engineer. And like I could see that growth over the next couple years when we were working together.
That's really cool. That's neat to have that insight. I don't know. Not a lot of people get to say that, so that's cool to me. Somebody always like looked up to, I guess, like that outside looking in. I don't know. As like I don't know anything about production, so it's neat to like hear about that.
I know
stuff.
very little. I just yell at stuff. I'm not that guy.
You guys have always been ahead in that game, in my opinion, where you've been either you've been doing it on your own or you've been going with the right people, and the production still stands the test of time to this day. I did want to say, while we're still touching on moving from the first eulogy or into Sumerian, I can't go without saying how awesome the Misery Business cover is. I don't care who you are. Like, it's awesome. You'll sing along every time. And there are times where I'm listening to Sea of Treachery, and whoever is doing the clean vocals, because there have been various clean vocalists throughout time, I don't know why, in my mind, I picture you singing a lot of it, and it's just like, man, Alex is awesome. And then it's like, oh wait, no, there's a clean singer too. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's just like you just fucking kill it every time. But
we've done a couple tours where I had to do it, and
you murdered it. I bet you did a good job. Come on.
That was a big like, what?
You singing the words? Yeah.
No, but the original version, because we started playing it like for fun as like an encore at local shows and stuff. And then it hit YouTube, and then Ash, going Sumerian, was like, we're recording that shit fucking expeditiously. And so we did that, and it came out like a week or two before the re-release, the At Daggers Drawn album on Sumerian. And the day it came out, we got more plays on MySpace, which is because Spotify and shit didn't exist yet. We got more plays on MySpace that day than Paramore did.
Oh, damn.
And we were like, oh shit. And then Haley posted about it, and we were like, oh shit. And it was the weirdest experience because, you know, back then everybody had a pop song they covered. Like, a Day to Remember did one. Like, everybody did. And we were the only band that I know of that the artist we covered was like, this shit's dope. Buy their album.
That's
Right.
so cool, dude.
And I will tell you something funnier. I don't know if I've said this on a podcast. Joey recorded the original version of that has Mike, who's still in the band now, but he was out for a while. But the original version of that, which is not the one on Spotify, Joey Sturgis recorded that for a Morley tripler guitar pedal that was $100.
Damn.
And it still sounds that good. I think that that dive bomb is one of my favorite dive bombs of all time. I don't care if you're Eddie Van Halen or fucking David Lynch from fucking Dokken, dude. Like that, it gets me every time, dude. It's so solid. So
I wish I knew who did that. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was Corey or Mike or Joey. Like, because what's really funny is when we first started recording with Joey, he was a drummer. He was a very good drummer. And then, like, a year later, he's like, I taught myself guitar. We're like, yeah, okay. And this dude's just, like, fucking shredding. And I'm like, oh, no wonder all these bands sound great. You're just doing all the shit for them.
what else is he doing?
I've
Like,
seen bands talk about that before, like, where they're like, anything he's produced, like, he's on it somewhere, whether he's credited or not. He's put a riff or something in there, like, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
So when we recorded the first Eulogy, I went in to do some, like, vocal touch-ups and some layers and shit. And I track fast. Like, I don't brag about a lot of stuff, but I do track really quickly. And I was like, well, I'm already fucking here. You want to, like, do something? And he was like, yep. And I was like, why don't we write a song that sounds like Job for a Cowboy? Because it just seemed fun. It was something that wouldn't have, like, worked for us as a band. He's like, well, I want to write a song that sounds like Dragon Force. And I was like, all right, so we're going to write a song that sounds like Job for a Cowboy and Dragon Force. And that's the joke song at the end of
to
the first
free or not to
Eulogy.
free.
And I will tell you another funny thing. The reason why there's that length of a gap is because after we tracked the album itself, Prada went and did their first album with Joey. So those were the first two albums he did, was ours and the Dear Love record. And their album was like exactly 40 minutes on the dot, I think. So we put enough lead time before To Bree or Not to Bree to where our album was 1 second longer than theirs.
That's awesome.
That is
Hell
one
yeah.
of the best hidden gems of all time. That was in my notes too. Just want to say is like, I don't care who you are. If you're a fan of CO Treachery, you know that song, and God damn it, you better fucking sing along every time.
I will never forget, like, the first time I heard that, like, being in high school, and like my best friend at the time, he was infatuated. He loved you guys. Like, he would be freaking out right now to, like, talk to you. But anyways, I will never forget, like, hearing that the first time, like, him showing that to me, and just, yeah, it was awesome.
On a quest to save the princess. Gets me every time.
Joey also auto-tuned me out of key on purpose.
Well, it still sounds good, dude. Like, yeah. And then also looking at the album credits where I wish I had written the name down, but seeing the ocarina player and all the other stuff where it's like, that's so fucking cool to see. Like, a lot of people don't credit stuff like that, but even in just like a jokey song, you guys had credits for that, so that's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward to Welcome to Wonderland. I had a couple questions just moving forward. Obviously, I want you to explore it yourself, but releasing the singles and moving forward with the Blackheart group, how did all that play out from moving from Sumerian?
So functionally, I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of a lot of that. As far as leaving Sumerian, we just had kind of different visions of things, and there'd been a lineup change because I was out of the band for like 6 months at the end of 2008, and things kind of fizzled apart. And Jerry, the manager, called me and was like, "Hey, do you want to like do this and just like put a new lineup together?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I found people from every fucking where. I got a guy named Voice from Toronto. Outside of Toronto,
As Blood Runs Black.
Yeah, he was in his Blood Runs Black for a second. Adam who's from Louisville, He at the time was in a band called Enignorisis, and then went on to be after the Wonderland lineup kind of didn't work out. He ended up being in Emure and All Shall Perish, and now he's in like an indie band that I think does pretty well. And then we got a guy named Chris Simmons, who ended up playing with Suffocate, and Chris Patterson, who before he played bass and did the cleans on Wonderland, was the lead singer of Jamie's Elsewhere.
Total super group, dude.
Cool.
Total super group. Seriously, yeah.
So Voice was, when he came here, his dad drove him to my parents' house. He was 17.
Holy shit.
He'd gotten like his GED or whatever in Canada, and then just lived at my fucking parents' house. And he wrote the entire record in Guitar Pro. And we flew out to California a couple times to demo with Andrew from Winds of Plague. And we did Skin Deep and I think Comedian. And Jerry was like, we're just going to figure this out. Or no, we were still on, technically we were on Sumerian at the time. And I remember we did a run of shows from we had moved to San Diego because we were going to start prepping to record the album. And we were added on as special guests for Summer Slaughter in Cincinnati because the show, I guess, for whatever reason, wasn't selling very well. And they knew that, like, if we came and did a home show, like, it would do pretty well. And I got At the Throne of Judgment to play it as well. But it was awesome because we got to play with, like, Necrophagist, Dying Fetus. It was a great show.
That's crazy.
And, yeah. And basically, after that show, I got into a disagreement with the label folks. And we were no longer on Sumerian. And Jerry's like, well, we'll figure this out. And he had a pal that had started a new label. They had a couple bands I really liked. They had like Molotov Solution, No Bragging Rights, who I love. He was like, you know, they'll take care of this. And we ended up recording at Lambisa Studios.
I wanted to talk about that too, so you go ahead, keep going.
Tim really didn't have much to do with it. Like, it was kind of like we had lunch when he was kind of like, here's what your budget looks like. Here is who we have that can produce it, whatever. And we got luckier than hell because Joseph McQueen, who is, to me, on par with Joey. Incredible producer. Ended up tracking it. It was Tim's second house. So we were in Studio B, which was like kind of basically the living room. And then Studio A was Unwritten Law, which was like a big like Warped Tour era like punk band. And they were like the most in and out, like, I don't want to say like burnout dudes, but like San Diego fucking like, hey, like kind of guys. And they were still on a major label at the time, and they had like some crazy fucking budget, and like they would get catering brought to them, and it would be like one dude from the band was there, but they'd get like plates of like sushi and like cases of beer and shit brought in for them. And the
Can
dude
I
would
get
like
some
grab,
water
like,
in here, please? Like,
yeah, well, the dude's like would grab like 3 pieces of sushi and like 1 beer and like go like finish tracking guitar or whatever and be like, hey, you guys can have the rest. And we're like, Jesus Christ. So
That's all.
so we
smash the sushi
record.
table.
Yeah. So the guitars on that record, because that record's chaotic as shit. Guitars took like 15 or 16 days, and we were running out of time. So then we had the programmed drums for scratch tracks, voice tracked the guitars, and then Adam did all of the drums for the entire album in 2 days. And he had played maybe 2 of those songs live
Beforehand.
Just machined it out. And then Chris Patterson didn't know the songs on bass, and Voice didn't play bass. So we were like, fuck. Like, and this is before, because now you could probably just program it. But
Back then,
we
that
were
was a long time ago. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well, not a
and we
long
were like,
time ago, but
fuck, what are we going to do? And Joseph's like, oh, I think my friend can do it. And I was like, who the fuck? So Josh Gilbert tracked bass on Wonderland, who at the time was in As I Lay Dying and is now in Spirit Box.
That's so cool, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so he played bass on that album, and then I did all the vocals on that album in one day.
Holy shit.
That makes it so much more impressive, because I just want to say that is by far my favorite release of yours in terms of the people that you have associated with that release. Adam is one of my favorite drummers of all time. I mean, just in terms of musicality, I was listening through it in the last few days, and it's just like, he's just fucking killing it. Like, the kick is constantly going tastefully through some of those portions. Yeah, you had an awesome lineup at that time, and yeah. So if you want to elaborate from there more, sorry, I'm fucking.
No, you're fine.
I'm daydreaming back here.
No, you're fine. So essentially, after that, we did a co-headlining tour with Suffocate, and it was like the longest fucking tour ever. It was like 40 days. And it was us two and Blind Witness and
dude, Blind Witness. Fuck yeah, let's go. Sorry.
And we were in Houston, Texas, and after the show, we played at like some coffee shop or something. Suffocate actually bailed on the tour because they got offered to hop onto Dying Fetus and The Faceless, I want to say, which I don't blame them for that. But so we're after the show, a fan was like, "Hey, you want to have some beers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I have a single beer in a parking lot, and I got arrested.
Oh,
damn.
That's on tour too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So I got kicked out of the band for drinking a beer in a parking lot, and got unceremoniously flown home. And then I think they played like 4 more shows, and it just didn't work.
Come back.
So they just bailed. Like everybody. That's when Adam went to Also Perish. That's when Voice went. Like everybody kind of just went their own direction because it was a cover band at that point. So I kind of came home defeated, and the record came out after we'd broken up, really. So there was no push, there was no touring, and the label very shortly after, which wasn't really our fault. I think they just spent too much money on every release they did, but they ended up going bankrupt. So they had to surrender all unsold copies of all of their releases as part of the bankruptcy. So that's why that record's very hard to get a hold of.
Not this one.
The only copy I have, a fan sent to me.
Oh shit!
I had to spend about $120 to get this one.
Jesus Christ!
But you know what? It's worth it because I love you guys. So.
You know I don't get any of that money, right?
Well, I can send you some.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But no.
But you know, so I just kind of felt lost and wasn't really close because I had felt betrayed by like the original guys and all of that. So
probably the labels you'd been associated with. I'm really sorry to hear that you'd gone through that, but I do want to say it makes me really fucking happy to see you still being out there, man. So
thanks.
Yeah. It's good to know that is not the end of the Sea of Treachery story as we're telling it right now. But
no.
Yeah.
But,
so, what was the next step from there?
Well, after Blackheart, the band was like really inactive for about 3.5 years, and I remember I was at the Mad Hatter, which is kind of like the venue that we grew up in Covington, and I saw this band. They were called Hey Caesar, and it was all these dudes from like fucking Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama and shit, and they'd all just moved to Cincinnati because I guess they were like, oh, that's close enough to like Rise Records territory. And they had all this like kind of almost like EDM shit going on, but they were heavy as hell. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And they had this dude that could just sing his ass off. And I was there with Mike, who's, in Treachery. And he looks at me, he's like, Alex, if you don't fucking approach this band to scream for them, I will. And so I did. And we became Empire Andromeda. And so I did that for a couple of years. We wrote an EP called Chapters.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded with Joseph McQueen, who did Wonderland, at his studio in Birmingham, Alabama. And, played some shows and stuff. Literally all of them worked for me at the McDonald's I managed at the time. And we just fucking put all of our money into it and just wrote a record. It's such a fun, cool, concept thing that we did. And I'm, to this day, once a year, I'll just bust it out on Spotify and be like, I cannot fucking believe that, we just randomly pulled this out of our ass. You want to talk about how good of a drummer Adam is? Kyle from Empire, the most solid drummer.
Dude, everybody in Empire. Just saying.
It was just unreal. That's the kind of band you would not expect to have real drums. And they were just in a fucking warehouse. It couldn't have possibly sounded good. And Joseph and Kyle just dialed the tone in, and it just sounds so fucking good.
Dude, that one it takes me back. It takes me back to being fucking playing Call of Duty, sitting in my gaming chair with my speakers right behind me and just blaring that shit. And it was just dude, it's some of the best cleans that has ever been in a metal band, still to this day. You guys blend everything so seamlessly, and I'm ashamed, I mentioned it in our texting when we were talking to the others, I'm ashamed that I didn't know about Snow until in the last week, because that was kind of what I needed in my life. The callback coming from the EP, I didn't know about it at the time, and it was so good. Please, someday come back to it. If you can. Dude, yeah.
Sean lives in Japan now, so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Different time zones, you can make it work. But anyway, that's still super cool. What's the name of his newest project? Yeah, I know you probably don't remember it because it's been years. I actually, as a random fanboy, hit you up and I was like, hey, what's this dude's name? When we were talking about Empire Andromeda, and you told me, I was like, what's the name of his new band? And you told me too. And it was just I can't remember. It's been years now, so.
I have no fucking idea. I don't know if he's even doing music now. I think he's teaching English in Japan.
Okay. Well, good for him, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So, well, okay. Moving forward a little bit, Logan, you got any questions before I start barraging Alex with some more single questions?
No, that's nope. We're still good.
Yeah, I'm just I'm trailing it all. So, no. So I was doing research and I had never heard Palindrome before, and I saw that online it has different posting dates. I think the date that it shows for the most recent one was 2022, but then I saw another one that was from 2012. Is it that old where it was 2012?
Yeah. So. Essentially, there was a weird confluence of events. So the Sumerian era lineup, that was me and Corey and Mike and John and Tommy. Mike, John, and Tommy lived a little bit further south than me, a little deeper into Kentucky in Grant County, and there was a tornado there. And we kind of got together to do a benefit show for that. It was opening weekend of a historic venue here, and we're like, hey, let's make some money, help them out, dust off some cobwebs, and thinking 100 people might show up, something like that, and then 500 people showed up, and I'm I think the entire set's on YouTube. By the time we do an encore, we did I Never Was as an encore, I'm crying. And we're all like, all right, well, we should fucking do this some more. So everybody but Corey kind of got back together, and we did a pretty extensive tour in 2012. And we wanted to have one new song. So my best friend, Christian, joined the band at that point. He'd filled in on a date because Treachery and Empire had done a couple shows randomly that summer. And Christian had to fill in at a show in New York, and he was the most natural fit. He grew up just loving our music and slaved away playing guitar, and he and Mike wrote a song called Palindrome. So that was the new song that we played on that tour. We did a tour with Float Face Down, and Abiotic, and a band called The Burial from Indiana. They were super good.
You're killing me right now. Like, seriously, I wish I was older. I'm younger, because I love all those bands.
Yeah, it was a fun tour. But, so we did that tour, and then we were going to do another tour. We were going to do this Christmas tour that had, like, U.S. and Canadian dates, and a couple of the guys backed out kind of last minute. So we had to regroup a little bit and get some new people. So at that point, it was me and Christian and John, and we got Cody, who's our drummer. He's been our drummer since 2013. And then we kind of had like a rotating series of second guitarists for several years. And then in, I want to say like 2017, 2018, Tyler joined the band because John didn't want to tour anymore. And then in 2020, John, who is the Sumerian era bassist, passed away. And we wanted to do a show to raise money for his son, Oliver. So Mike came back at that point on guitar and clean singing. And he's been back ever since. So, I mean, personally, to me, our current lineup is the best lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It's the right combination of talent, personalities, creativity, drive. Because it's weird to look back and know that there have been so many people in this band, but you know, in a vacuum, were there probably people at certain times that were better at something than another person? Maybe. But the chemistry we have now is something I wouldn't trade for anything.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have to be better as long as you click with them, you know. I was curious. I know you've had an illustrious career. You guys have gone on a lot of tours. You played a lot of local shows. Is there anything that specifically stood out in your mind? Was there any shows that you really remember, whether it was before you were actually in Sea of Treachery or in any bands that were influential to you, that was a tour package, or one specific tour that you were on while you were out on the road that was really memorable for you?
I would say the best like heavy show I've ever been to, I want to say it was like 05 or 06. It was when I was in college in Louisville. It was Norma Jean, Between the Buried and Me, Misery Signals, Here Before the March of Flames, and Haste the Day.
Oh, shit.
That was fucking awesome. I've been to so many I've seen every band like a billion times, so it's like...
I saw your post recently where you were talking about like your top 10 where it was like, yeah, I played with that band. It was like, Jesus Christ. Played with Meshuggah? Like, yeah, there you go. That's number one.
Do you still have ones on the bucket list that you're like, damn, I need to figure out how to play a show with those guys?
Oh, play a show with? I mean, there's plenty, but...
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I mean, the biggest band... I would say that the three biggest bands we've played with are probably Meshuggah, Killswitch, and Hatebreed.
That's crazy, dude. Put that on the resume. I mean, yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean, we used to play, like, what's funny to me is we used to play shows with bands that are fucking massive in, like, the funniest places. Like, we played in the basement of a church in Lexington, Kentucky with August Burns Red.
Damn.
And it was, like, Jake's first show in the band.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of that,
mm-hmm.
you know, like, or, like, playing with Devil Wears Prada in a park. You know, like, that's cool. What's funny, you know, it's... But, I mean, I want to play with the biggest bands in the world because I don't want to, like, you know, the problem that we've found ourselves in is we keep playing to the same 40 to 100 people in every city every time. And, like, we want to go out and, like, have the challenge of making new fans instead of being kind of like this nostalgia act or whatever.
Right.
Because, like, it's great. It's awesome that there have been people like you all that have been, like, ride or die for 15, 20 years. But at a certain point that's stagnant and like it's not super exciting. And I don't want to just be like we just want to do festivals or like play on a cruise ship or some shit. Like we're writing music. Like, we want
I'm
people
sorry,
to hear it.
you caught me off guard there with the cruise ship. Sorry, that was good.
Oh, dude, they have so many fucking music cruises. I can think of no band more prepared
Than you guys.
It's the fucking name.
Sea of Treachery, let's go.
Ready to go.
Put my ass on a boat. Give me a buffet.
Let's do it.
Good.
Full banana hammocks, full band. We're ready to go. Wait, what? Pause. But no, that's super cool, dude. Like, yeah. So speaking of cruises, not directly related to that, but kind of subsequently related. Some close friends of ours that we just did one of our most recent podcasts with was Reaping Asmodea, and they got to open for you guys 2 days in a row. So that as I was doing my research, like that's super fucking cool. So
it was more than 2. Yeah, they did a whole tour with us. It was like 10 days.
Oh shit! Well, more props to them because we love those dudes. But that's crazy. I didn't realize it was more than that.
Yeah, we did. Here's how weird my brain is. We did Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Allentown, Brooklyn, Clifton, New Jersey, Chesapeake, Virginia, Atlanta, Nashville, Louisville.
The 2 that I'm thinking of were, I think they were American Legion Hall shows, but that's even crazier. I didn't realize that it was that long of a stint. So.
Yeah. We did 2 tours last year. One was with them on the East Coast, and then we did like a week and a half with the Convalescents, kind of Midwest and out west, and then we did a one-off. We did the after show for Knock Loose's home show in Louisville.
Hell yeah, dude.
I wanted to ask one thing. I wanted to ask you've played a lot of places all over the country. Is there any venue that like stands out that you're like that was like your favorite, like sound wise, or you're just like I want to go back there and play every time type of place?
The Masquerade in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's the one.
Easiest answer in the world. Best venue on the planet.
Cool.
Fucking love Greg that runs the place. Elena, who's the talent buyer. It doesn't matter if you're us or if you're Meshuggah. They treat you like gold. It's the best experience. I mean, there are plenty of great places we played, don't get me wrong, but it's almost like when you're in school and you get a snow day and you're like, we're playing the Masquerade today. Like, they take such good care of you. I love that place. My favorite venue in the world.
That's really cool.
Excellent. Well, I had one other question for you before Logan might have any. Is there any local talent to you that you are excited to hear?
Is there any what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. Any local talent that is near to you that you were excited to hear, the up-and-coming bands that should be on anybody's radar?
Our friends Obsidian Mind, they did some shows with us last year. They're really good. Jordan Reinhardt, who used to be in our band a long time ago, he's in a band called Scenario. It's like kind of like noisy post-hardcore. Mm-hmm. Really into that. My good friend Josh is in a band called Death of a Poet. They're always putting out new stuff, and they're awesome. That's about all I got. I'm old, and I have 5 animals at my house, so I don't get to go do much.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I know how that goes.
No, you're okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Logan, you got anything else for our guest here?
No, that's what I was looking at. I think he answered just all the rest of the questions I had. So.
Yeah, he's given us a lot of awesome information.
You either asked him or he answered him. So.
Sorry, yeah, I totally fanboyed all over you tonight. Anyway.
You know what? If it makes it better, as soon as I go upstairs with this inflated ego, my wife's going to tell me to change the laundry over. So I'm coming back down to earth real quick.
Good. But, okay, so anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight, my man. I want to give you one more opportunity. I know that you shouted out some bands. Let us know anything that you got going on with Sea of Treachery or anything else. Anything upcoming, tours, singles, whatever you can give us, we'd love to hear about it.
All right, so last year we put out 2 new singles, What's Past Is Prologue and Fear Bomb. We are finishing up tracking an EP right now. I have no fucking idea when it'll come out, but we have one show currently. We have one show currently announced. We're playing in a couple weeks in my hometown of Jeffersonville, Indiana, right across from Louisville. It's the pre-show for Louder Than Life. Playing late at that. We have merch online. We have new shit coming, and yeah.
And yeah, hell yeah, we love and yeah. No, but no, straight up, yeah. Thank you so much, dude, for joining us. Keep an eye out on anything that he's got going on for any projects, anything. We love this dude. Awesome vocalist. He's a fucking legend. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Just Noise. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so much.